My name is Jon Scott. I have lived here in Richmond, Virginia all my life. For me, standing here looking at the Lee statue, I see two things. I see the sign of where we were, and I see the signs of progression. Where we is not was not suitable for everybody, but where we're going is more equality for everyone. As I'm looking at the statue, I'm seeing black, white, blue, green, yellow, orange, purple, and those not the colors of the spray paint cans, but of the people. Is more diverse than I have ever seen this area of Monument Avenue. People are tired of being censored or tired of being muted, tired of being said, hey, you can't say this, you can't do this. Well, how come I only can say what you want me to say? How come I can't say it's time for police brutality to end? What part of that phrase says that you're not American if you feel like you're being discriminated against? We had to go through a struggle, a fight through history to get where we are now. Where we are now is not the end goal. Where we're going to be is the end goal, and that's equality for everybody. For everybody. It is a movement, it is a progression. This movement will not stop. It has only intensified with the younger generation, and it should continue to intensify because one voice suppressed, all voices are suppressed. And it's time for change. And I hate to say it, but you may not like the messenger, and you may not like how raw the message is. But what are we going to start doing? Are we going to start burning books because we don't like the authors? Or are we going to read the books to get the information and knowledge in which we need to progress, to grow, and to move on? It's time to thrive, not survive. I heard a lot of people, I'm a history buff, and I heard a lot of people talk about history, and Mississippi, Alabama, but Richmond was the capital of the Confederacy. Richmond, Virginia is the middle of the country. But I believe that the ideology of Richmond can transform America. And I can say, me personally, I was not one that understood the Black Lives Matter movement as a black man. I was one who am a registered Republican, but always vote the issues. But to see this yesterday when I came down here, this memorial brought me to tears. And it wasn't the reading. It wasn't the pictures of those who were slain due to police brutality. It wasn't one thing that I read. It was the sight of seeing people united peacefully. I saw the kids smiling, and one of them was tagging, and their tag said, "I want to grow up." That tag brought tears to my eyes. It brought joy to my heart. It's not a color thing. It's a civil it's a civil conscious thing. You cannot have a conscience and you believe that the world is fine the way that it is. Please explain that to the women years ago who was fighting for their right to vote. I was watching CNN, I was watching New York, and I was watching Philadelphia, and I was watching California, and I was watching Texas, and they were showing all the big cities and big states of all these uprisings. I didn't see Richmond on the map not one time, but I can hear the rumble through my city. And it wasn't a bad rumble. It wasn't a rumble that made me say, "Hey, I got to go buy a gun." It wasn't a rumble, "Oh, I need to call the police." It was a rumble of change. When I started hearing Black Lives Matter, and I started seeing they come out of white mouths and brown mouths, and I started seeing them holding the same signs, and I started seeing them protect each other and support each other. That's a rumble that this country has been waiting on, and it is a awakening happening, and it's an awakening to every human conscious that change has to happen, and change has come. We're past a tipping point. I feel that this time they're not just names, and there's an underlying issue that has to be solved. And some people say, well, all police isn't bad, but one bad apple can spoil the whole bunch. So the excuse that there's just a few is not valid because there should not be not one. Not one bad apple should be in the police force. They signed up to do two things. That is to serve and to protect, not serve and take. And it is time that we stop making excuses and start coming up with solutions together and bring change. Because change do not happen unless we first are willing to have the necessary conversation. That means every politician, that means every pastor, that means every youth leader, that means every coach, that means every photographer, every video blogger, every radio blogger, that means everybody that has some type of influence need to come to the table and come up with solution. No more excuses, because let me tell you, if you were to be afraid of anything, you should be afraid that if you don't do something now, that next time this happens, it's going to be worse. The city of Richmond was burned by the Confederacy. They were willing to burn everything that they worked for down before they see someone else get it. Are we willing to burn this opportunity? Push it down the road another 50 years. Let's deal with it while it's peaceful. Because if not, then it's going to have to be by any means necessary. When you back a dog in a corner, you better rest assured he's coming out swinging. He's coming out biting if you back a dog in a corner. So take this opportunity, check your conscience, and let's do this work, and let's do it together. It ain't going to be nice. It ain't going to always be friendly, but we going to make some progress. We've been waiting too long for change to come, and it's time to ignite that fire again.